compliments, another chance to ask you a question about Todd Cantwell. It's getting closer. How close?
No comment on the transfers today because we spoke a lot in the week. But as soon as soon as anyone is signed and sealed, you will be the first to know. I would say that we're very close on one or two bits, but I don't really want to elaborate more on what I said the other day. But we'll announce it when it's done.
So if I ask you about Nicolas Raskin, you won't?
No, I won't budge either. Another good player, to be fair. Player I remember a lot from the time we played Standard Liège. He missed the first game against Rangers the night that Kamar Roof scored that amazing goal, if you remember. But he played in the second leg. He's a player that I'm aware of, a very good player that's obviously out of contract in the summer and is attracting a lot of attention. There's an interest from us, but I'm sure there is from a number of clubs.
That's the best answer, not talking about a player anyone's ever given me. Tremendous.
I like to compliment good players, and he certainly is one.
My final question on that then, Morgan Whittaker, is there a bit of a standoff on him?
There's not a standoff. Obviously, we're doing the business in private, and obviously in South Wales they've obviously spoke out about it, so we don't want to add to that because the boy's gone back there off of loan. He could be in their squad this weekend, so if he's in their squad, he's their player.
Are we going into next week, would you say, before anything's confirmed, or could you see anything happen before the weekend?
No, nothing will be announced before this game. The focus is on this game.
If you get the three that you want, would that be it for this window, Michael?
Not necessarily. There's in the last 24 hours or so, there's been maybe some inquiries for one or two of ours, which could be interesting. So the focus is firmly on this game, and it might be that one or two of ours either go out temporarily or permanently because they want to play. Because obviously, with one or two coming in, you're sort of making room for what the squad will look like.
Overall, you think the squad is getting stronger?
It's definitely getting stronger in terms of the imminent arrivals. If they get over the line and they come in. And as I say, with this window, it's been fairly quiet in all the leagues, but as we're creaking towards the end of the month, more and more things are becoming available, maybe some opportunities there. It's important that we recruit for the areas I think we need. If we can't get everyone this window, then we'll move to the summer. But I've said before, I do feel that we need to add players to the squad for sure.
The players that might move on, Michael, they come up to you and said, I quite like it, more game time. So
yeah, there's literally everyone's situation is personal, isn't it? And so I've had one or two, the younger members of the squad that maybe have opportunities, and none of the senior boys. The senior boys are all really focused on the job in hand, and they've been excellent so far for me.
Do you have
in terms of squad being stronger or not, you were looking for results from Kamar Roof's scan.
Yeah,
an update on that?
I think it'll be 4 weeks. So Kamar, we're not going to go down the surgical route with it. It's one that's in between giving it time or having surgery. We've decided, or Kamar's decided, that he wants to. He's feeling better. But it'll be 3 or 4 weeks before we see him back. So probably the middle of February in time for the cup final. Good timing from Kamar.
Is that a bit quicker than perhaps you'd thought?
It was one or the other. It was depending on what the specialist said about having an operation or letting it try and heal, and it depends on what grade it is. I'm not an expert in that area, but that's what I've been told to regurgitate back to you guys.
In terms of the squad, is it Cholak back for the weekend?
Tony's back, yeah.
In terms of this game, there's obviously a huge Rangers support. How big do you think that's going to be away from home?
It's been big in all the away games so far. Wherever we go, we've got a fantastic support. It helped us massively up at Dundee United. It helped us again midweek. We've had some really difficult away games recently, and obviously the weather and the changes in pitches and all that. And I expect all of that to be involved tomorrow, which is a really tough cup tie.
Is that something that seems quite unique in Scotland, that you go to an away ground and you'll have 3 stands full of Rangers supporters?
Yeah, obviously, and it's nice for us because for our players, we go there and we know the crowd's going to be there behind us and supporting us. I think the crowd, our fans, are aware that it's a very, very important game, and we're aware that it's going to be on a tough pitch against an opponent who's going to make life really difficult for us. But the most important thing tomorrow night is that Rangers are in the next round of the Cup. That's our focus, and I'm sure the fans that are travelling up to Perth are aware of whatever it takes. We want to come away tomorrow night with a victory and into the next round.
Michael, can I ask about Ryan Kent? Really good performance from him at Kilmarnock. he spoke about his future after the game. Presumably, when you're having those discussions with him, performances like that for him help if you're selling Rangers as a place he should commit to.
Yeah, Ryan's been here a long time, and he's had some really big moments like the team, and like the team, he's had some moments where he's had disappointment, and I think it's important that I've come back in. The most focus the last few weeks is playing the games and getting the results. We'll find there's a bit more of a break next week, and then we're back into a 3-game week then. At this moment in time, I just want Ryan to concentrate on football. I don't want to put him under pressure or be speaking to his representatives about contracts and finances and where his head's at and where our head's at when we're in the middle of a 3-game week where we have to win every single game. So you park some things, don't you, to when you get a break, and that's what we've done. I think that's helped Ryan focus, and I think he's playing really well, and I think that the front three in particular, their numbers in the last 7 or 8 games have been pleasing, but also their effort as well. I think their effort's been top.
That front three, you've spoken before about kind of keeping them unpredictable by giving them that freedom. That's played out pretty successfully. You must be pleased with that front three really being settled after only a handful of games.
Yeah, I think obviously there was a big urge for Fashion, Sakala and Alfredo Morelos to play when I came in, because they hadn't played much in the weeks prior to me coming in or regularly. So you've given them that opportunity and they've rewarded the team. I think Malik Tillman's also had a big impact, and Scott Arfield running out of midfield has given us another goal threat. They've gone and got 4 or 5 goals between those two as well. So I'm pleased in an attacking sense. There's a little bit of anxiety sometimes defending, but I've said a few weeks ago, for a team that goes and scores as many goals as we do, sometimes you can't defend while you're attacking. There's a balance to be struck, but we're certainly a team that wants to put people in the final third and go and score goals.
Michael, can I ask, obviously tomorrow's a cup game, do you feel any additional pressure to win both cups, given where you are in the league at the moment? And I know obviously at Rangers you need to win.
No, not really, because you come in, you inherit a situation. The pressure I feel is to obviously to calm things down, recover the injuries, or the expectation, not pressure, to calm things down, to make a happy camp, to make the team win, and then build on that. And there's always some red flags in every performance, but no performance in football is perfect. We go to Rugby Park the other night, we concede early, and we have 72% possession, and we score 3 goals. So, when people say to me afterwards, what about this that went wrong and that went wrong? What about the 3 goals that we scored that got us the 3 points coming back from a goal behind? So I just need to keep working on them things, making the group aware of some areas they can tighten up. But in the main, I'm really happy. The expectation here at the start of the season is always huge. I've come in the middle of it, and you're trying to maybe turn something around, if you like. We've got to 1 cup final. We won this trophy last year for the first time in 12 years, so it's important that we're still in the hat on Saturday evening.
You touched upon it the other night, Mike, about going behind often in games. That's something you press on the players this week in training.
Yeah, I don't think we're meaning to go behind, to be honest. It's not something we're not meaning to, but it's important that we start games better, and in the main, some games we have started really well. I thought the semi-final we started the game really well, and then we conceded against the run of play. What I've been very impressed with the team is their composure. That's something in my previous time here we had to work very hard on, that when we went behind, that we didn't start forcing things. I've been very pleased with the composure and the amount of passes we're making and the variety of goals that we're scoring. I'm really pleased with that. So if we can just tighten up on that area, then that should lead towards me having a few calmer afternoons and evenings.
Everyone okay after the other night?
Yeah, everyone's fine. We've managed the group quite well this week. Obviously took Ryan Jack out on the AstroTurf just to protect the situation he's got. Glenn played. Glenn came off at the end, was a bit sore in his ankle, but he's recovered fine. Antonio trained today. He's not fully fit, but he's there if we need him, like Kamar was in the cup final, so that's a blessing. And there's nothing else to report really, everyone else is fine.
Guys on the Zoom, Adam?
Those defensive issues, I know we've not been here for the full season, but that's 6 set-piece goals conceded so far this season. I think last season was only 8, and then obviously the 55 season was 1. How much can you do to sort of get back to those numbers right now with the games coming so thick and fast?
Well, we obviously talk about it and we spend a bit of time discussing it. you're right, it's an area that we used to be excellent in. We've had, I think, 3 clean sheets in the last 5 games, so I'd rather focus on that than the doom and gloom that you're bringing to my front door. I think we just have to, we face a lot of set plays, so in a game like Kilmarnock, you're facing a lot of set plays because every throw-in is a set play. Every time there's a free kick 15 yards in their half, it's going in your box. So they make you defend their moments, and the percentage that we're defending is very high. So we're defending actually a number of them well. We need to stop giving them away. We played away at Dundee United and we were excellent at not giving away set plays against an opponent that was looking for them. So in the majority of the games, when you're having the amount of possession that we're having, it's the same in every league with a team that's dominant in possession. You're looking at defending counter-attacks and defending set plays, and so that's a constant that we have to talk about. And yeah, it's an area we want to improve. We should have scored off a couple of set plays ourselves the other night. Connor Goldson has a chance in the first half, and we have one in the second half where I think we should be scoring as well and evening it up. And so yeah, it's ongoing that work.
Okay, Stephen?
Michael, can I just ask a wee bit about Ryan Jack? I feel that in the last couple of games, especially as games went on, second half Dundee United, second half at Hampden, he's really progressed and led the team and drove the team on. Is there any update on a contract? There's a suggestion that might be close for him, and how pleased are you with his form over the last couple of games?
No update in his contract situation. He knows what I feel about him. He knows that. He's very clear. He's one of the leaders of the team, along with John Lundstrom, Tavernier and Goldson, Alan McGregor, Scotty Arfield. That's part of our leadership group. I'm delighted with him, to be honest. I've tried to manage him quite cleverly in the game since I've come back in, along with John and Glenn, because they're really important for us. And when I came in, there was different issues with everybody, but Jacko looks in a fantastic place, and he's not only breaking the game up and getting us control, he's actually added a couple of goals in the last few games, which have been pleasing. So at this moment in time, we haven't sat, me and Ryan, and had a big discussion. We had a discussion probably 3 weeks ago before the Ross County game, and we're on the same page.
See, with regards to the likes of Ryan Jack, when you factor it in with Ryan Kent, Fashion Sakala, individuals maybe starting to get towards their peak performance, how pleased are you with that, and is it just a case of trying to get others up? You spoke a wee bit about anxiety and ironing out a few things. Is it all heading in the right direction for you and you're happy with the road?
I think so. If we can, let's navigate tomorrow, because I'm aware, we're a big club and there's always a disaster waiting around the corner. We can't come off of it. We're still trying to push consistency in the way that we play, consistency in team selection, because I think then the relationships on the pitch are stronger. I don't think it's that complex. I think if the players play together a lot, their understanding of each other is good. If they like the way the team's playing, if you collaborate with them and you get their opinion on the way the team's playing, and then you go out and train it, and you drive the standards, I think generally I start from a position of strength. It's a fantastic football club, and it's got strong players in the country and the league that we play in. So my job is to try and get some harmony and cohesion, and we've managed to do that the last few weeks, but we're far from where I want us to be, if I'm honest. We've still got quite a long way to go. Having said that, we're dominating possession and scoring goals, which is a good sign. So if we can tighten up on some moments where we're a little bit anxious, then we'll be all right. And I prefer the team to be bold in any moments, not on the back foot, just staying on the front foot.
Nice one.
Just briefly to go back to transfers, I know I appreciate you won't talk about anyone in particular, but how important is it that you scout someone with a mentality that they won't buckle under the sort of unique pressure that comes playing here?
What I would say is, if you look to someone like Malik Tillman, who's come through at Bayern Munich, I'm not sure that anything that Bayern Munich can do in their academy would have equipped him for Rugby Park on a midweek on an artificial pitch, which is freezing as every minute goes through. I think that's quite unique. I think that's quite unique circumstances, and sometimes you've got to learn on the job. We can equip people before, so there might be a reason why I felt it wasn't a perfect game for Malik to start, because I felt that the midfield that we played the other night are used to playing there, and so they're little things that maybe you think about. With players coming in, my biggest concern is, will they fit our dressing room, will they fit our style, and are they going to be a good player for Rangers for the next 2 or 3 years? So I'm looking for hungry players when I sit and discuss with them their future. Do I believe in the journey they're on, and do I think they can help us? And the more better players I can get in the building with that hunger and drive, that's the important thing. Coming back into the club, it was very interesting to speak to the same players that I started or was part of that journey with 3 or 4 years ago. Where are they now? You know, because they've been here for 3 or 4 years, they have won a league, they have played in a Europa League final, they have won a Scottish Cup, they had some disappointments. Where are you now? Do I still feel that flame is really burning? And that's different for each individual. People move their minds and move their motivations, and other people retain it. It's important I bring people in that can drive this club forward over the next couple of years. It's not just me. I want to feel that I've got players in the squad that I'm going on a journey with.
Thanks guys. Dailies?
Thanks, guys.